Hey everyone, this is Brad Hughes, School Principal and Chief Encouragement Officer from Ontario, Canada. And I've got some good news for you. You found the Good News, Brad News podcast, amplifying stories of heart-led educators moving from positive intention to action. Great people like you, improving kids' lives through service, connection, and finding the fun. So glad you're here. Let's get started. Hey everyone, so glad you tuned in, and thanks for joining me for the Good News, Brad News podcast. I am your host, Brad Hughes, and as you settle in and get comfortable for episode 12, I have about a dozen reasons to feel excited and grateful to be able to bring you this podcast every week. Listeners, your kind and encouraging feedback, along with the opportunity to clarify and share my purpose through conversation with great people like you, is tremendously gratifying. If you've been enjoying the Good News, Brad News podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you shared your favorite episodes on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, introduced my podcast to a friend, and messaged me with what is resonating with you and what you'd love to hear next. Another interview crafted to delight and uplift you will be right here in a week's time. In the meantime, coming right up is a Good News, Brad News news brief. This is a Good News, Brad News news brief. Hey everyone, this is Brad Hughes with a Good News, Brad News news brief. Brought to you by Leading from Within. The time is now to lead from within. Marianne Williamson writes, "Personal transformation has global effects. As we go, so goes the world, for the world is us. The revolution that will save the world is ultimately a personal one." The COVID-19 crisis has proven that extraordinary change can happen in a short period of time. At seemingly a moment's notice, all aspects of our lives have been transformed. How and where we work, shop, access health care and other necessities, how we parent, how we care for and connect with family and friends, and how we move about the community. How we interact, grow relationships, and support one another have all been fundamentally transformed. While we may have the ability to connect with those far away through calls and video chats, the physical and emotional distance we continue to experience is real and profound. Just as remarkable are the personal transformations that have occurred. In the education sector and in so many others, ordinary people have led through the crisis to accomplish extraordinary things. They have, by urgency, necessity, courage, or sheer will, become creators, caregivers, and counselors, action researchers, system rewriters, community activists, and challengers of inequities, all while experiencing incredible stress and while companioning their loved ones through stresses of their own. Is it possible to embrace and learn from this time of change and to leverage these transformations? Can we encourage new leaders to emerge and developing leaders to flourish? As writer, practitioner, and facilitator Kate Greer observes, "In times of crisis, we look to our leaders for comfort and strength, for guidance and direction, for hope and encouragement. How comforting then that we may need to look no further than to ourselves for the leadership we seek." That's right. The leadership we need is actually right here with us, because that leadership is within us. I believe we must reveal our own leadership to ourselves. Because times like these confirm we are all leaders. Leaders in and of our own lives. Hasn't each of us fulfilled countless leadership roles in our homes, workplaces, and communities? Haven't we reached out to find companions and mentors that understand our strengths and help us grow our influence, one person, one opportunity at a time? Haven't we been diligently assessing the needs around us and mobilizing our strengths to address those needs? Aren't we demonstrating that every interaction is an opportunity to come alongside others for mutual benefit and growth? And how about the ways we've been clearing away the obstacles, rooting out, reducing, and eliminating the frustrations and barriers we can? About the ways we're learning to reframe setbacks as opportunities for learning and relationship building? How we've been laying the foundation for future success with every attempt. We've been doing all of this and so much more. We've been proving that strength and creativity can grow out of adversity. It's essential now, more than ever, to challenge self-doubt, soothe despair, and honor the leadership potential within each of us. And make no mistake, every role in the community adds value. Remember, as we go, so goes the world, for the world is us. The revolution that will save the world is ultimately a personal one. The time is now to lead from within. Thanks for listening to this week's Good News, Bad News News Brief. We'll see you next week for another engaging interview. Until then, I challenge you to be ever on the lookout for the good around you. Notice it. Name the good every moment, every day. Laugh, lighten the load, companion those in need or distress. Wherever and however you can, meet others where they are and find the way forward together. Take care. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Good News, Bad News podcast. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment wherever you found this podcast. And if you like what you heard, please recommend Good News, Bad News to a friend. And please hit me up on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at Brad, B-R-A-D, _Hughes, H-U-G-H-E-S. I look forward to hearing from you and to reconnecting with you on our next episode. Until then, get out there and do amazing things.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. We'll see you on the next episode.